Wow. I love the stories that I've heard throughout Fearless Leader. And being a graduate here just recently, February, in cohort 6, one of the things that I learned about myself is self-awareness. I've been listed as one of the top 10 thought leaders to watch out for here in 2022, alongside the Grant Cardones and the Joe Dispenzas. And that's a lot to live up to when you're a giver, when you want everyone around you to be in leadership at the highest capacity they can. And so, what I've learned in my process with the Fearless Leader program is how to be more aware of my own self as a leader. And, when I first came into this, I was introduced by Laura. I had an opportunity to meet Kathy. Our conversation just grabbed my heart and how she looks out for those of us that have sat at different titles, CEO roles, the ability of which we've been able to guide other people. But what I've learned from the Fearless Leader program is really how to do the self-awareness, how to look within. What is it that we're growing into? What are we looking to do here in not just the near future, but how we're actually visualizing that for other people? And that has allowed me to not just find within me what I also choose to grow into in that visionary role that I've done for well over 30 years. And my background of being in retail and corporate management and moving into high titles. And I always thought if I strive for the next thing, and what Kathy has taught us here as leaders is that all the things and the accolades that we have are great, but when we're working on ourselves as we're working on others, it actually genuinely allows us to vision the next thing, the next ability to help the next community or the next person or the next woman for that matter. And so it allowed me myself, as we're giving gifts of just not learning how to put the one-page plan together, how to make sure that our teams feel as though we are working as team. And I love how our teams have worked together, but how I was able to actually take a lot of this training into what we were already growing. And we were a very new magazine when it first when I first came to the cohort, but it also made me realize the importance of each teammate and what we're actually doing collaboratively. And so the collaboration of this allowed me to actually take more collaboration and understanding that, as the CEO of many things that I'm doing, that I can also find a way to make sure that all the CEOs around us and the presidents around us and the titles around us are also seen. So going back to what I originally said, given that voice. So for me right now with our show, our TV show, which we're going into our 3rd season, we have our own channels now, our magazine, which I'm so grateful that Kathy will be gracing here soon. You guys will see that coming in May. It also just shows us that as we're growing into our own, that we get to highlight everybody around us. And that to me is where the resources, the trainings that we're receiving. And if you choose to take this very seriously, how you see your own growth in that, no matter your own accolades, we all still want to be taught, as well as many of you have talked about in coaching, teaching. So it just gives me that idealization that here in my 50s, I can still learn so much more about leadership. And Fearless Leader really pulled that out of me. And as someone just mentioned, it was a lot of training, but I remembered staying up in the middle of the night, almost not wanting to rest because I wanted to finish that one chapter. Let me finish that one because I want to make sure that I'm fully present for the next day's training. And that allowed me to actually pour into myself as I'm pouring into others. So I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful that you can take this training and genuinely take it into your own business and how your own growth within in that Fearless Leader can help others to also become leaders and bring them back to a training just like this that will allow them to see what it actually takes to build yourself while you're building your business. So thank you for that, Kathy.